Today I'd like to talk about the top 5 questions to ask your waste hauler when or if you're negotiating a contract. So question number 1 is, what can they collect? And more importantly, what are you planning to collect in your recycling program? And you really need to make sure you're in alignment, because I've seen many times where people are collecting unique situations or materials and the haulers just simply can't take them. So it's all going to trash. Question number 2 I suggest you ask the waste hauler is, who is responsible for fines? For example, there's organic mandates coming into different regions such as Vancouver. If it's going to the landfill and there's a high level of compostable material, you're going to be fined. So you need to determine who is responsible for that fine. And more importantly, as the bins are being picked up, are there additional surcharges? If the bins are overflowing, are the haulers expected to get out and clean up the parking lot? A couple of other issues that I've seen happen quite a bit is frequency. Many times waste haulers will show up every day. They're there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and what is important is if the trucks have to have scales on them. Because if they don't, you could be charged for a full bin every day, and in reality, it may be a quarter full. This is one of the easiest ways to determine some savings to drive your program forward, understanding the frequency of pickups. And it works on the flip side. And if you have to call the waste hauler in for what we would call an unscheduled pickup, sort of a one-off, you have to be clear, because this is an opportunity for them to really double or triple charge you because they're not scheduled. These are the soft dollar costs that a lot of people don't look at. The 4th question I suggest you ask the waste haulers, can we do some kind of a shared expense that everyone will benefit from? So imagine you go out and spend $30, $50, maybe $100,000 on implementing a recycling program. The streams you're collecting are so clean, the waste haulers, they're saving money by not having to sort it. It's a clean stream, they're getting more money on the back end when they're selling it. So you have to ask that question. The final question, number 5, and this is something that I'm seeing happening more and more frequently. So imagine you've got all of these containers spread around your facility and everybody has the same thing. Those plastic bags, the liners that go inside of them. And what we're seeing is waste haulers are now encouraging and sometimes mandating in the contract that you do not use plastic bags anymore. So that creates a problem. There's a benefit to the waste hauler, because what is happening, sometimes they get so many of these bags as it goes through their equipment and their machinery, quite often they'll get caught up in the wheels and bung up their machines, stop it, and it's costing them time and money. So to offset that, they're now requesting that the end user or people collecting the recycling stop using bags. Pretty simple solution from the hauler end. But in reality, if you no longer are allowed to use bags, just think about the impact it's going to do for you. Because it can get pretty messy, if there's food or organics, and that will require you to now have to go and take those bins, clean them out, get a power sprayer. So you may even be required to have a duplicate set of bins, which we call a swing system. For example, when one's full, they'll come in with an empty one and take out the full one. And that's going to cost you time, money that you probably didn't plan for. So these are situations that you have to ask the hauler. If you're in a contract and they say changes will come, you have to make very clear that if this is going to be a part of the changing landscape, you need to be ready for it and share the risks. I'm Bruce Buchan, encouraging you to never waste a moment when it comes to developing a recycling program, especially when it's involved with waste hauler contracts, and always get a second or third opinion. None of us is as smart as all of us.